Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video tutorial we will learn how to use role based authorization in ASP.NET MVC 5 application. So we will follow some steps to work on it. So first step is to populate our roles and users on startup. So we will not gonna use any interface to register a user or add role in the database, and we will use it on a startup from backend, and we will assign role to the created user, and then we will verify the identity. So let's start from point 1. So I will go back to the Visual Studio, and here you can see I have already created a project that I used in my previous video, code first migration. So this code first migration video I also mentioned in the description box, and also you can see in the info box on the video, so you can also check this video tutorial. So let's reuse this project to use the role based authorization. So first of all, what we will need to do, we will go into the startup class. If you go into the solution explorer, we have a startup class, and this is the startup class. Whenever we run our project, this method will run. Let's say run this method on startup. Sorry, I will change some comment. This runs whenever application first start. Okay, so what we will do, we will populate our database here. So I will create a method. Let's say public void populate user and roles. Okay, and I will call this method here populate user and roles. So here we will populate our users and roles, and then we will assign roles to the user. So first of all, we will need some roles. So what we will do, we will create a static class. So here in the models I will add a class and will name it constants, sorry, my constants .cs, and we will make this class static, and let's say we have name public static string roles role admin. So it will be admin, and next we will need another role with name, sorry for my typing, string role user, and this will be user. Okay, so now what we will do, we will call this static constants from our startup class. And so before starting populating our database, we will go into the solution explorer. We want to change some identity config. When you go into the identity config file, here we have the password settings. So for this example, I will disable all these settings, because we don't need any special character or required in the password for this example purpose. So I will make all the false setting. You can change it as per your requirement. So now I will go back to the identity models, and sorry, I will go into the startup class and will start our data populating from here. So first of all, we will declare our DB context. So var DB equal to new application DB context. Let's add his namespace using post first migration dot models. So now first of all we need to add a role in the database. So first of all we will check if there is any role exists in the database with names or not. So db dot roles dot any, and here we will provide the lambda condition. First of all we will add this namespace also. So x such that x dot name equal my constants dot role admin. If we don't have the admin role in the database, then we will add the role here. So I will add here and will provide db dot roles dot add and will provide identity role. So new identity role, and here we will pass name equal to my constants dot admin role. Okay, so and same we will follow for the next role. So I will copy this and will paste it and change role admin to role user, and here we will also provide role user. So what this two lines of code is doing, will populating roles. So next step what we need to do, so we'll populate user, and one thing we need to change in the populating roles, we need to, I think this is enough if we provide directly this role in the identity role model. Okay, so we will add this and same we will do for this. So it is directly taking our roles, and it will and one more thing I forget guys, we will need to call here db.save changes. I hope you know the db.save changes working. Okay, now populate user, same with we will check first of all if we have the user. So db dot users dot any, and let's check our condition x dot username equal, and we will provide this app admin, let's say username. If we don't have this user, then we will add it into the database. So first of all we need a user store. So I will type user store equal to new user store, and will pass let's add this namespace, and in the type we will provide application user, and we will provide the user store that we have declared above here. And next we need role store. So role store equal to new role store, and here we will provide application db context. Sorry, here I will provide identity role. Okay, and will provide database here. And next we also need role manager, and this is equal to new role manager, and will provide identity role also here, and will provide role store. Okay, and let's include this namespace, and this is the some typo here, I will change it into the role manager. Okay, and using Microsoft.NET identity. Okay, that's the starting point this guys. Now I will create a user object. So new user equal to application user, and will provide new application user, and here we will provide some properties for this application user. So let's scroll a bit and let's start typing here. So for email I will type app admin@test.com, and for other properties we will add just like username equal to we will copy this from here, okay, and for more properties I think that's enough for our application user. So okay, let's clean it a bit and I will add this, and let's format the code by pressing Ctrl KD, okay. So same we will do for our next user, but before that we will need to add this user into the database. So let's type user manager create. So here we need to provide an application user, so we have a new user, and now we will need to provide a password. So for password we will type application admin, okay, and now the user manager dot add to role, and now add to role we will provide user ID. So we have a new user which we have just created ID, and here we need to pass a role. So what role we need to pass here? So let's copy this from here, and now I will paste it here and will name it role admin. So what we are doing here, we are creating a user, and first of all we are creating two roles. If don't exist in database, then we check for app admin username. If this user is not exist, then we will add new and assign it to admin role. Same we need to follow for the user. So we will copy this and let's paste it, and here we will type username app user, and all things will be same. Let's type here app user, and username will be app user. So and we'll use the password application user, okay guys, and we'll change the role here, role user. Let's clean this code and remove this unnecessary bracket, and by pressing Ctrl KD will refactor or reformat our code. So this is the code that we written, and you can see here we have added two roles and two users and assign both user different roles. So we have two users, one we have an admin and second one we have user. So let's start the application by pressing Ctrl F5, and let's have a look in database that we have our user created or not. So let's press Ctrl F5. Our application is building. Let's wait for it to run completely. I hope our code is working fine, and let's have a look what it is generated. So our application loaded successfully and we didn't get any exception or error, so we need to verify that our user has been created or not. So we will go into the SQL server, and here we need to verify this. So I will run the code first in the new query, and we have this database used for this project. So select all from ASP.NET roles. So let's run this by pressing Ctrl F5. Oh, okay, our roles has not been integrated, so let's take so I think we need to verify what the problem is, and I think I'm missing something in the project. So what we need to do, this startup method is run on the first run of the application, but this is the project we used in our previous video, so it is this method is not calling when project runs. So what we need to do in order to hit this method, we need to add some changes in the web config by pressing enter or make space, and let's save it. And now I will press Ctrl F5 again, so it will hit the startup project, our startup method. And let's have a look our user and rows been populated or not. I hope this will work fine now, and our application is loading, and our application is loaded. Now go back to the SQL Server Management Studio, and now let's press Ctrl F5, and still we haven't get our user. So guys, let's go back again to the Visual Studio, and I'm showing all these steps to you because this is the real world scenario that you can face. So we need to handle this type of situations whenever we are development. So I'm not gonna skip this part, so that you need to check this and you can have experience how to debug the code. So what I've identified that I have not provided the not condition here, because we want to execute this condition if this is not exist in the database. So in all places we need to pass the not condition, and I hope this will work fine now. This is the third time I'm trying this, and you guys can see how the debugging is done. So let's press Ctrl F5 now, and I hope this will work now, and hope you guys can see the steps I followed and how to check the conditions and the situations we have faced as a developer, because not the every time first time run our code and it works successfully, and every time we got the success response, but it is the part of the development. So I hope now I will get the our users and roles. So I will run the query by pressing Ctrl F5. So here we go, we have our two roles, and now let's verify this. Select all from ASP.NET users. So I hope we have two users. So we have two users also created, app admin and app user, and next one we need to verify is the role association. So select all from ASP.NET user roles. So ASP.NET user roles, sorry, I'm missing something here. So here you can see we have two users, and both users have assigned with different roles. So the populating part of our database with user and role has been created. Now what we will do next, we have already done this part 1 and 2. Now we will verify identity through role authorization. So let's go back to the Visual Studio, and in our home controller, I will go into the home controller and I will open it, and here let's say we need to create two methods, one for admin and one for user, and we will access it one by one with different users, so that every part which is assigned to the particular role will show to their specific user. So now I will add the authorization to admin and user. So I will change this about name to admin area, and this I will change the user area. Okay, and what I will do, I will make this views also. So right click here and add view. This is the admin area. Okay guys, and after this creating, we will add another view for user area. So let's create another view with user area. Okay, now click on the view. So we have two different views and with two different names. Now we will need to apply the authorization with the roles. So what we will do, first of all we will type square bracket and type authorize, and here in authorize we need to pass the roles. We will type the roles here. So I have a role in the my constants, and let's add this namespace also, and this is the role admin. Okay guys, so here we need to pass another thing, roles equal. Okay guys, so it is giving some warning. Let's read this warning. Okay, this is asking to be a constant type. So what I will do, I will go into the role admin by pressing F12 on it, and here we will change this static to constant, and will also change this to constant. Okay, let's save it and go back to the home controller, and now I hope this warning goes away. Okay, this is goes away, and I will copy this and will also apply it here, and will change this to role user. Okay, and let's remove this view back which is not using currently, and just press, and let's build our project. I hope it will show some specific result to us. And now one more thing I will do, I will go into the account controller. So let's open the account controller and go the login class, and here is the login view model. I will change it to the username. Okay, and we will use username for login. Okay guys, and let's go to the login view by right click on the login method, and it is loading. So let's wait for it. Visual Studio sometimes behave like this, and go to view, and here in the view we will change email to username, and we'll copy this and we'll paste it here. So let's go back to the account controller, and here we need to provide a username, and let's run our project by pressing Ctrl F5, and let's see what we have got. And let's copy the admin credentials. We have the username app admin and password application admin. Let's run this project, and it is currently building. I think Visual Studio behaving strangely. It not take much time to build or run our project, but it is taking its time. So for this I will pause this video, and when it's done I will start the video again. So now our project has built and it is starting now. So let's take a look what we have got. It's taking too much time. I don't know why it's behaving like this. Sometimes it happens when you are developing this type of things. So let's have a look how much time it's gonna take and what result it gonna produce for us. So our project has been loaded, so I will go into the login. It is taking too much time. It is things that we have to face as a developer, so we don't need to worry about it. And let's see what it gives us. So now our project has been loaded and here is some error is showing. So I will go back into the project and we'll check the error here, and I will correct this misspelling. Okay, I will copy this from here, paste here, and will paste here. And now I will go back to the Chrome and let's reload it. I hope it will work fine now. Still it is loading. It is really embarrassment we are facing, but the purpose of these all steps to show you guys that we need to face this type of things as a developer, because this practices will make perfect us. So I will type the username here, such as app admin, and password will be application admin, and we'll click on login, and let's see it will log in successfully or not. So it is logged in into a system, and now let's go to the admin area. So we'll type home and admin area. So as you can see, it is accessible by admin user. If I will go into the user area, so it will not accessible by the admin, so it will go back to the login URL. And what I will do, I will log out and log in again as a user. So I will type here app user and password will be application user, and we'll click on login, and as you can see we have logged in successfully as an app user. And now I will go back to the home and user area, then it will give access. But if I will go back to the admin area, it will return it to the login. So this is very long video, guys. I hope it finds helpful for you, and the purpose of all the steps, as I have already discussed with you, that this is the things that we need to face in our daily life as a developer. So that's why I showed you all the steps and all the debugging and problems that we have faced during the video. And thank you for watching, guys. Kindly like and subscribe my channel. Thank you for